Good morning, bootstrappers, and welcome to episode 3 of Radically Transparent Business Bootstrapping. Today, Father, will have our first scrum, so why don't you hop into it?
Okay, so what did I do yesterday in our process of launching CirclePy Creative? The first thing is I refined our mission based on Austin's feedback. And the big thing that I did was added career into it. So now our mission is that CirclePy Creative helps people or individuals. CirclePy Creative helps individuals quit their day job by providing career and business system support through content, courses, coaching, and consulting. Austin, you happier with that?
I am much happier with that. It feels more complete.
It may seem silly to help people quit their day job by providing career support, but a big part of our philosophy is that in addition to bootstrapping, you need to be in a good position to make that transition, and falling in love with your day job is the first step to that. So then, after that, I turned my attention to vision, and you'll remember from my perspective, vision has 5 elements. You've got the I'm out of order here, restarting. You've got the ideal customers. You've got the transformation you're offering them. You've got financial goals, professional goals, and the cause that you are fighting for. So from an audience perspective, I've been working to refine this. Really, my view is you can have an A, a B, and a C customer, if you will. A customers are where 50% of your business comes from, B is where 30%, and C is where the last 20% is. And this is really also a part of a focusing of your marketing to make sure that you have, you're not being overly broad, but you have some focus in your efforts. So the A customers, where we'd put 50% of our support and effort and 50% of our time and revenue, would be on the creators. And by creators, I mean the creatives, the makers, and the explorers who are trying to leverage their skills and talents and knowledge into the creator economy. The second group are the technologists. And technologists are those people who have deep technology skills, who are trying to move through the startup process and launch bootstrap their business from a technology perspective. And then finally, I'm still working on a name for this group, but the best name I've got right now are local service providers. These are the tradesmen and craftsmen and other people who are providing services in a location, in a locale, and want to be able to leverage content to help them promote their businesses and grow their businesses in their local market. So those are the ideal customers, the ABC customers that I think we're focusing on. Austin, any thoughts?
Those seem to be rather correct, and I think it's interesting that you threw in the local service workers, but I agree, we are focusing on that because we like the idea of local workers who are helping out their community, helping to serve their community and provide that service. So I definitely agree wholeheartedly.
Okay. One concern that I do have is whether the focus is too broad. Do we need to niche down? It may be that we have to spin those focuses up individually over time as opposed to all at once. Then I don't have anything yet from the financial or the professional goals perspective. There might be thoughts running around in my mind, but defining them clearly and concisely is not there yet. So I don't have anything there. But when we talk about a cause that we're willing to fight for, even if all of this is falling to pieces and not working out, what are we willing to fight for? And one of the big things we've talked about is empowering the stay-at-home entrepreneur. And by the stay-at-home entrepreneur, what I'm really talking about is the stay-at-home parent who has opted to stay at home and work at home for a time period rather than be out in the workforce to raise a family. And the big thing that we recognize there, or that I guess it's a shared recognition, is that the network for that group doesn't exist like it used to, or it's a different type of network than it was a generation or two ago when my parents were raising me. And so we know that there needs to be an increased level of support. We also recognize that there's very few single income households left in the States anyway, in the United States of America. And so we want to make sure that those who are trying to contribute or feel a need to contribute to their household have a route. And so we want to empower those stay-at-home entrepreneurs. And so that's the cause and fight. Any thoughts there?
Well, fathers, the first half of your career, you weren't so stay at home. You were busy and going on trips all the time. And I can tell you for the second half, there's a big difference. So I believe that should be our fight, because stay at home parents really do make a difference. They help their kids in a positive way. And honestly, I think that the more stay at home parents we get out there, the better off the next generation is going to be, in my personal opinion.
Well, and I think it's not about suggesting what's right for any one individual or family, but it's about empowering those who have made the decision that they want to be at home. So,
Yep.
okay, so that is yesterday. Today, I need to shift my focus to that financial and professional goals section of the vision, and also need to get a shot set up here in our streaming software so that we can share content on Saturday when we do our first sprint review, sprint planning, and other Scrum ceremonies. And then related to that, I need to get a PowerPoint deck started to record the ideas that we need to share with the rest of the Circle Pie team when we do our sprint review. What's in the way? Today, I think I'm in a fairly good place, to be honest with you. Today's a long work day for me, and if you'd asked me yesterday, I would have told you that I had this whole series of 6 hours of specialized meetings that was going to get in the way, but those all got canceled, so I have some extra availability that I didn't plan on today. So I'm feeling pretty good about my opportunity today.
Okay, that's the first time I've heard that from you in a while. Okay, so yesterday I worked on our content calendar. If you don't know, we currently have 5 types of content. We have our career theory, our unsolicited wisdom, business theory, bootstrappers, and radical transparency. Currently, we got our radical transparency coming through like our daily scrums. We'll do our sprints and retrospectives, and that, as you said, our scrum rituals. Our business, career, and unsolicited wisdom are what I worked on specifically, and we plan on releasing one live stream of those per week. And then the other 2 I still need to chat with you about and figure out at some point. As for what I plan on doing today, I'm thinking of working on projecting my voice better so that I can be better and more active on the live stream. I'm also planning on, like you, working on preparing to share with the rest of the Circle Pie team. So that could be through helping building up a PowerPoint or so on and so forth. I don't know, we can discuss that, I guess. What are your thoughts? How are we planning on sharing to the rest of Circle Pie?
Well, I'm planning on encoding our thoughts in a PowerPoint deck, because then it becomes an artifact we can carry on as we move forward. So it's a point of reference. And so that's my plan. I do want to go back a minute to all of the different content. And I think just a footnote that an additional content type that we've talked about are the content upgrades that we'll make available to individuals related to these different topics we're on. And I also think, we have gone back and forth with this concept of, are we talking about podcasts, are we talking about live streaming, are we talking about, what blogging, what is it and how is it that we're delivering content? And it may be that they don't all have to be delivered the same way. Maybe we don't want to stream everything. Maybe some of these will be just flat out videos. Maybe some of them will be just blog. Maybe some of them would be, podcast. I don't know. So we can still look at shaping this content in different ways.
That is fair, and it's definitely a good idea for the future. Guess now I talk about in the way. Is that correct, or do you want me to share anything else?
No, I'm good. So what's in your way today?
In my way is a little bit of exhaustion. Yesterday I stayed up a little bit late, went to a school party, and now I'm kind of down on the ground when it comes to being physically awake, if you can't tell through the live stream. So that's going to be my biggest in the way.
Okay. Well, go splash some water on your face and get to work. But before you do that, Austin, you better say goodbye.